Warning. The following video will contain spoilers from the Flash episode, The Trap. So, spoiler alert. If you don't want anything ruined for you, stop watching now. Hey guys, Dave here. Well, yes, as you can see, I finally got around to getting a Flash t-shirt. Although, I gotta admit, I should have checked before I bought the darn thing. Yes, it's got the symbol, but it's a little lower on the belly area. I mean, this makes it look like... I wore this shirt the first day at MegaCon this year, and I've said this joke. It's so good, I have to say it again. The way this shirt looks on me, it looks like the last thing I ran to was a buffet. So, that's all I'm going to say. Anyway. Okay. So, where last we left off from last week's episode, we go right into this one. So, we've got Barry, Cisco, and Caitlin in the Time Vault, which now that's been discovered. A lot of things happened. In my last video, I talked about the little comic strip panel page that talked about certain things. And the show got into some interesting things. You know, Barry cut off Gideon on the show before she got to actually say that he's a founding member of the Justice League. So that was an interesting little change up there. But yes, finding out about Gideon, finding out about the operating software and processor is just way beyond even Cisco being able to do anything. But Gideon will do anything that Barry asks because Barry created Gideon. Holy crap. So, this is some very big news, but apparently Gideon's also been kind of like programmed a bit with... When Barry asks, do you know who Dr. Wells really is? I don't understand the question. So, there's obviously some tinkering there and some mixed up things here. So, what the heck's going on? We have yet to be truly revealed, but they're starting to realize, yes, that whoever the hell Wells is actually from the future. So, and of course, Cisco geeks out at the brighter red costume and the white around the emblem and everything. So, and we start getting into some real interesting causality things about what's going to happen in the future now. Well, as they start to reveal certain things about how they try to trap Wells, they start realizing about time travel and things, and about Cisco remembering things that shouldn't have happened. Barry reveals that he actually did do a time jump into the past a few weeks back. So, obviously something weird's going on, but whatever the key to trying to find out more of it is may lie in Cisco's subconscious. So, the special goggles that he was making, which there's also an interesting little thing of a visor that looks very reminiscent to polar goggles or shades that Captain Cold might wear in the future. Barry was sporting those when we were working on it. Apparently the idea is this was helped him to create a state of lucid dreaming to tap into whatever is in his subconscious. And heck, when Wells catches them making it, they were able to come up with a pretty decent story about why, about trying to take care of people that might be going through psychological problems and whatnot, and Wells actually helps to, find the right frequency to make it work. So that was cool. But, yes, so that finally in Barry's office, the Central City PD, they induce Theta State into with Cisco. Well, brain farted there a sec. I'm not sure that Theta State is the right term, but they put him under and let him go into his subconscious for lucid dreaming. So that's going to be pretty cool. And they start actually walking through his memory of what happened. And it's pretty weird going through a memory of something that technically hasn't happened in the reality, but he starts to get through it. He starts to effectively get, Wells confessing about what he did, that he didn't mean to kill Nora, and he actually got to feel him putting a vibrating fist through his chest into his heart. So, eventually he gets snapped out of it before he worries about dying in his dream, and Wells calls to let him know there's a fire going on in the building for Captain Singh's fiancée. So, Flash goes to the rescue there. Meanwhile, while all this is going on, Eddie had asked Joe for his blessing for Iris's hand in marriage, and Joe's just flat out saying, nope. But Eddie's thinking, well, technically I don't have to really need your permission. I'm going to go do it anyway. So all this is going on. Iris is trying to get a hold of Barry to talk about something, and eventually we were thinking, okay, maybe she's going to finally reveal her true feelings to him. No, it's the dossier saying that everything happened with the particle accelerator going off. So, kudos to my big theory there. Anyway, Eddie's going to propose to Iris that night, and everything's going on. Meanwhile, the gang at Star Labs are finally setting a trap for Wells. And it looks like everything's starting to be lined up. Cisco is going to be bait. The device is set up as a trap for to keep speedsters out. And what happens? Wells goes to confront Cisco, and it was a beautiful melodramatic moment where he's getting closer, and he's getting ready to make the attack. Joe fires off a few bullets. Barry tries to stop the bullets before the bullets kill him because he wants to actually get a confession out of Wells to free his dad from prison. And, well, looks like Joe might be a Bon Jovi fan because, right there, shot to the heart, and Joe's to blame, so... Joe managed to take out what we thought was Wells, but then it reveals Hannibal Bates transformed into Wells, and then Wells is on the overhead, pretty much, gloating, saying, "Oh, you're not going to get a confession out of me, and we've been doing this dance for a long time. We're going to continue to do it." And it was a highly tense, dramatic moment. A lot of us, when we saw little things like, okay, that has to be Hannibal Bates there, but what's going on here? We kind of figured from the teaser clips and that Hannibal had something to do with... part of being the trap, and we then turned out, it was not Wells, it was Hannibal, so spoilers. And he takes off and clears out the time vault. So the suit's gone, Gideon's gone, and eventually Reverse Flash goes and takes out Eddie before he has a chance to propose to Iris, which, during some flashbacks, we get to see Iris finally starting to piece together that due to some static electricity by touching Barry, that Flash and Barry may be one and the same. And then what we get for the after credits scene, we've got Eobard and Edward Thawne talking about how Eddie is Eobard's insurance for the future. And he keep also alluding that something happens that no matter what's going on, no matter how Thawne or Wells is going to try to save Barry, that everything he's done, none of it's forgiven, and he's still going to pay him back. So I think that this is going to set up for a lot of things. We might get to find out finally about if Eddie is going to be Malcolm Thawne some time in the future. Vibes, powers might start getting manifested one day in the future, but next week, Grodd. So that's going to be freaking huge. Let's see here. Okay, got a bit of time. So, yeah. I was also contemplating about possibly making another video. This one's up to you guys. The whole thing looking at Flash's origin, about having to do with temporal paradoxes and things like that, dealing with the Flashpoint paradox. It wasn't until I started thinking back about the Silver Age story about Barry Allen and Iris West that I realized technically Iris's existence originally in the Silver Age of the comics was also a major temporal paradox. Yeah, if you guys like to hear me do a video about how Iris's origin was, that she was originally from the future, but to save life she was transported back into the past, adopted by the by the Wests, and after she died her consciousness was transferred back, I could go into a whole huge thing about that. Do you want to hear more from me? Please let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what's going on in here. Please, go back and check out my past videos also. Check out my video about my theory about metahumans, the metagene, and Cisco. Also check out my video talking about how David Ramsey admits that he's been scanned for 3D, and looks like John Diggle's going to be suiting up in future seasons of The Arrow and the new show called Legends of Tomorrow. So please, let me know what you guys think, and I'll keep making more videos as long as someone gives a crap about watching them. Alright guys, take care. Peace. Yum yum.